Newcastle 5-1 Sheffield United, Blades relegated from Premier League for immediate return to Championship. Sheffield United's 5-1 defeat at Newcastle confirms relegation from Premier League with 3 games to go. Blades have only managed 3 wins all season. They have amassed 16 points, only 5 better than Derby in 2007-08, who hold record for fewest points in a top-flight campaign. Bottom side Sheffield United were relegated from the Premier League after a second-half collapse saw them suffer a heavy 5-1 defeat at Newcastle. The Blades' 25th league loss of the season ended their miserable return to the Premier League. Having won just 3 games so far, the fewest of any side, and conceded the most goals 97 in a 38-game top-flight campaign. Chris Wilder's side, who have been relegated with 3 games left, took a shock lead at St James Park through Anil Ahmedhodzic's 5th-minute header. But the visitors conceded to Newcastle's first shot on target in the 26th minute as Alexander Isak's clinical finish brought the Magpies level. Sheffield United then let in 4 second-half goals in just 18 minutes as Bruno Guimaraes' header sparked a collapse as it was followed by an Isak penalty, a Ben Osborne own goal and a fine finish by substitute Callum Wilson. Newcastle's come-from-behind win boosts their hopes of European qualification, with Eddie Howe's side just a point behind 6th-placed Manchester United. Sheffield United, meanwhile, will be playing Championship football next season as they make an immediate return to the second tier. How Blades' Championship return was confirmed. Goals had been expected at St James Park after Newcastle hammered Sheffield United 8-0 at Bramall Lane in September. But it was the Blades who surprisingly flew out of the traps. A short corner move saw Ahmedhodzic head in Gustavo Hamer's cross after just 5 minutes and the visitors then pushed for a second. But a sluggish Newcastle eventually equalized when Jacob Murphy released Isak in behind and the striker finished superbly. A chaotic opening half an hour nearly saw Sheffield United retake the lead as Dan Burn prevented Ben Brereton Diaz's shot from crossing the line after he had rounded Martin Dubravka, before Mason Holgate headed against the woodwork with Andre Brooks smashing the rebound wide. But the game swung dramatically in Newcastle's favour early in the second half when Anthony Gordon curled a free kick to the far post for Guimaraes to head home in the 54th minute. 7 minutes later Gordon won a penalty after being brought down by Holgate and Isak powered home from the spot for his 19th league goal of the season, to put him 1 behind Cole Palmer and Erling Haaland in the race for the Golden Boot. Osborne then backheeled into his own net as he tried to clear at a corner to make it 4-1 in the 65th minute, and Newcastle had a 5th just 7 minutes later when Wilson came off the bench to finish smartly. Sheffield United's misery was complete when a late penalty decision for substitute Alex Murphy's challenge on Jayden Bogle was overturned by referee Tony Harrington after a review at the pitchside monitor. Newcastle 5-1 Sheffield United. Wilder, we haven't been good enough all season. Sheffield United boss Chris Wilder speaking to Sky Sports, we didn't get relegated today, we've been relegated because we haven't been good enough all season. We've not been good enough in every aspect of the game. We have to accept that and take that on the chin. The old things that came back to haunt us, today. Physically the league's too powerful for us. They upped the tempo and their game. On every front it epitomized what the season's been about and that we haven't been good enough pre-me and after me. It's a really poor season and we have to own that. But we'll come fighting and swinging back. There's a lot of work to be done, but we'll be okay. Howe, I would not swap Isak for anybody else. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe in his post-match press conference, I think Isak, is world-class. Yes, I think he is. For me, I think the biggest thing is would I swap him with anybody else? No, I wouldn't. When you look at his age profile and what's to come, you look at his attributes and his qualities. He's some talent. He's full of confidence, he looks physically in a really good place and I just think it's a great thing to watch him play currently. On second half turnaround, we knew halftime was going to be important for us. First half, we were I don't need to tell you well off it, probably a little bit of tiredness from midweek, the first game in a while, and then of course a very quick turnaround. It enabled us to settle down a few things and come up with a much better performance. Opta Stats, Blades suffer 9th top-flight relegation. Indeed, the Blades have suffered their 9th top-flight relegation as many as local rivals Sheffield Wednesday. Also 9, with only 5 teams suffering the drop from the top division of English football on more occasions: Birmingham City 12, Leicester City 12, West Brom 11, Bolton 10 and Manchester City 10. Newcastle scored 13 Premier League goals against Sheffield United this season, the most one team has scored against another in a single campaign in the competition's history, and conceded just once, 13-1. The joint biggest aggregate margin of victory, plus 12 for one team against another in a single Premier League campaign, alongside Manchester City v Watford in 2019 to 2012 goals scored. None conceded. Alexander Isak has scored 19 Premier League goals this season, the most by a Newcastle player in a single top-flight campaign since Alan Shearer in 2003 to 2004-22. Indeed, he's scored in each of his last 7 Premier League games at St James Park, with only Andrew Cole 8 in 1993-94 and Alan Shearer 15 in 1996-97 netting in more consecutive home appearances for the Magpies in the competition. Sheffield United have conceded 97 goals in their 35 Premier League games this season, with only Swindon Town 142 games in 1993-94 conceding more in an entire campaign in the competition's history. What's next? Newcastle face another relegation struggler next as they visit Burnley on Saturday, May 4th, while Sheffield United host relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest on the same day. Kickoffs 3 p.m. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.